What if I told you that behind the charm, smooth voices, and hit records, some R&B stars were hiding seriously toxic behavior? From explosive egos to abusive relationships and behind-the-scenes bullying, these weren't just bad moments, they were full-blown patterns. They sang about love and heartbreak, but offstage, they treated people in ways that would make even their biggest fans think twice. These are the 10 worst jerks in R&B history. You've been warned. 10. R. Kelly. R. Kelly's rise to R&B superstardom masked a dark legacy that would eventually eclipse his musical achievements. Born Robert Sylvester Kelly, he became a household name in the 1990s with hits like I Believe I Can Fly and Ignition Remix, but his private life was riddled with disturbing allegations that spanned over 2 decades. The first public accusations surfaced in the late 1990s, with rumors swirling about his inappropriate relationships with underage girls. In 1994, he secretly married 15-year-old singer Aaliyah using a falsified marriage certificate, an act that would later be cited as the start of a pattern of predatory behavior. By 2002, Kelly was indicted on 21 counts of child pornography after a videotape allegedly showed him engaging in sexual acts with a minor. Despite the graphic evidence, he was acquitted in 2008, with many witnesses refusing to testify. The allegations didn't stop there. Over the years, dozens of women came forward with stories of sexual abuse, manipulation, and imprisonment. The 2019 documentary series Surviving R. Kelly reignited public outrage, prompting new investigations and his record label to drop him. In 2021 and 2022, Kelly was convicted on federal charges of racketeering, sexual exploitation of children, and kidnapping, resulting in a combined 31-year prison sentence. His crimes were described as systematic and calculated, with prosecutors detailing how he used his fame and network to lure and control victims, some as young as 14, for decades. 9. Chris Brown. Chris Brown burst onto the scene in 2005, quickly establishing himself as a talented singer, dancer, and performer. But his career has been consistently overshadowed by a series of violent and erratic incidents. The most infamous occurred in 2009, when Brown assaulted his then-girlfriend Rihanna, leaving her with visible facial injuries that required hospitalization. He pleaded guilty to felony assault and received 5 years probation, community service, and mandatory counseling. The incident shocked fans and the music industry, but it was only the beginning of Brown's public troubles. In the years that followed, Brown's rap sheet grew longer. He was involved in multiple altercations, including a brawl with singer Drake's entourage in a New York nightclub and a fight with Frank Ocean over a parking space. In 2023, he was accused of violently assaulting producer Abraham Diaw in a London nightclub, allegedly striking him with a bottle and then kicking him while he was down. Brown was arrested in the UK in 2025 for this incident and denied bail pending trial. Other lawsuits detail backstage assaults, property destruction, and unpaid debts. Despite repeated attempts at public apologies and stints in rehab, Brown's pattern of aggression and legal issues have remained a constant, with new allegations surfacing as recently as 2024, including a brutal backstage attack in Texas. 8. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown's career has been a wild ride of chart-topping hits and personal chaos. As a founding member of New Edition and later a solo artist, Brown helped define the sound of late 1980s and early 1990s R&B. But his reputation for reckless behavior, substance abuse, and volatile relationships often overshadowed his music. Brown has spoken openly about his struggles with addiction, revealing that he used marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and alcohol for years. He attributed some of his self-destructive habits to childhood trauma and sexual abuse by a priest, which he kept secret for decades. Brown's marriage to Whitney Houston was a media spectacle, marked by public arguments, drug binges, and mutual accusations of infidelity and violence. In 1993, Brown was reportedly kidnapped by a New York gang over a drug debt, with Houston allegedly paying a $400,000 ransom for his release. He was arrested multiple times for drunk driving, battery, and probation violations. It wasn't until a brief jail stint in 2013 that Brown finally got clean, motivated by his desire to be a better father after losing his daughter Bobby Christina. Even so, his legacy remains tainted by years of tabloid scandals, legal troubles, and the tragic unraveling of his family. 7. James Brown. James Brown, the godfather of soul, was a powerhouse on stage but a storm of controversy off it. His early life was marked by poverty and crime. He was first incarcerated at age 15 for breaking into cars. Brown's musical genius brought him fame and fortune, but his personal life was plagued by violence, drug abuse, and run-ins with the law. In 1988, Brown's erratic behavior culminated in a wild police chase across 2 states after he stormed into an office with a shotgun, convinced people were using his bathroom. He tried to ram police cars, drove on blown tires, and was finally arrested, serving 2.5 years in prison for assault, weapons charges, and drug offenses. Brown's legal troubles didn't end there. He was repeatedly accused of domestic violence, including a 2004 arrest for assaulting his 4th wife. He pleaded guilty to criminal domestic violence in 2004 after threatening to kill his wife during an argument. There were also lawsuits alleging sexual harassment by employees. Despite his towering influence on music, Brown's reputation was repeatedly tarnished by his violent outbursts, substance abuse, and disregard for the law. 6. Trey Songz. Trey Songz, born Tremaine Neverson, built a career on smooth vocals and a charming persona, but his offstage behavior has been anything but smooth. Over the past decade, he has faced a barrage of accusations, ranging from sexual assault to intimidation and violence. In 2022, former UNLV basketball player Dylan Gonzalez accused Songz of rape at a Las Vegas hotel, stating publicly that she suffered from PTSD as a result. This was not an isolated claim. Multiple women have come forward with stories of sexual assault, including a $1,020 million lawsuit from Jahawara Jeffries, who alleged Songz assaulted her on New Year's Day in 2018. Songz has also been arrested for assault on several occasions, including a 2025 incident where he turned himself in after allegedly attacking a woman in a New York bowling alley bathroom, leaving her hospitalized. Keke Palmer accused him of sexual intimidation after he allegedly filmed her without consent and used the footage in a music video. Other incidents include accusations of punching and choking a woman at a party and altercations with police at public events. While Songz has denied all allegations and some cases have been dismissed, the sheer volume and consistency of the claims have cast a long shadow over his career. 5. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill's impact on R&B and hip-hop is monumental, yet her career has been marked by a reputation for being difficult and unprofessional. While the miseducation of Lauryn Hill earned critical acclaim and commercial success, Hill's behavior offstage and in the studio has often alienated those around her. Bandmates and producers have described her as unpredictable, with frequent cancellations, tardiness, and sudden changes in plans. Hill's perfectionism and insistence on complete creative control have led to clashes with collaborators and record labels, sometimes resulting in stalled projects or tense working environments. Her live performances have occasionally been erratic, with Hill altering arrangements or showing visible frustration on stage. Fans and musicians alike have noted her reluctance to engage with the media or participate in promotional activities, which has contributed to a mystique but also frustration. Hill's outspoken critiques of the music industry and refusal to conform to its expectations have been interpreted by some as arrogance. This attitude, combined with her erratic behavior, has made working with her challenging. Despite these issues, Hill remains a towering figure in music, but her reputation for being difficult continues to follow her. This duality, brilliant artist and challenging collaborator, has defined much of her career, complicating professional relationships and public perception. 4. Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson's career as a singer and actor has been overshadowed by a series of highly publicized personal and legal battles, particularly his turbulent custody dispute with ex-wife Norma Mitchell over their daughter Shayla. The custody battle has been marked by accusations of physical abuse, restraining orders, and emotional meltdowns broadcast on social media. Norma Gibson obtained a restraining order against Tyrese after alleging he pushed their daughter to the ground and physically restrained her during disciplinary incidents. Tyrese has denied these accusations, but has also admitted to emotional struggles, including hospitalizations for anxiety and chest pains. Throughout the custody dispute, Tyrese has made multiple public emotional outbursts, including tearful pleas not to lose custody of his daughter. He has also been criticized for violating court orders, such as flying a banner over Shayla's school declaring his love, which was seen as provocative. His social media rants have included attacks on co-stars and fans, further complicating his public image. Despite these challenges, a judge eventually awarded Tyrese joint custody, emphasizing the need for a healthy environment for Shayla. Tyrese's ongoing battles with mental health, public meltdowns, and legal disputes have painted a picture of a talented artist whose personal struggles and volatile behavior often overshadow his professional accomplishments. 3. Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat is a key figure in R&B, known for his smooth, sensual ballads that helped define the genre in the late 1980s and 1990s. However, behind the scenes, Sweat has developed a reputation for being rude and difficult to work with. Industry insiders report that Sweat is often blunt and dismissive, engaging in conflicts with other artists, producers, and label executives. His unwillingness to compromise or smooth over disputes has led to several public beefs and burned bridges within the music community. Sweat's abrasive personality has sometimes made collaboration challenging, with producers recounting tense recording sessions and disagreements over creative direction. His tendency to hold grudges and walk away from projects has reportedly limited some professional opportunities. Despite this, Sweat's dedication to his craft is clear. He is a perfectionist who demands high standards from himself and others. This difficult behavior contrasts sharply with the romantic and smooth image he presents in his music. While his contributions to R&B are significant, his reputation for being uncooperative and abrasive remains a notable aspect of his career. 2. D'Angelo. D'Angelo is celebrated as a pioneering figure in neo-soul, but his career has been marked by a reputation for arrogance and erratic behavior. At the height of his fame, D'Angelo was known for treating collaborators and crew members poorly, often disappearing from professional commitments without notice. His perfectionism sometimes manifested as dismissiveness toward others' contributions, creating tension in the studio and on tour. His struggles with substance abuse and mental health contributed to prolonged absences from the public eye and delays in releasing new music. Tour cancellations and missed appearances frustrated fans and collaborators alike. Reports describe him as unreliable and difficult to reach, complicating working relationships. Despite these challenges, D'Angelo's musical influence is profound, with critically acclaimed albums that have shaped modern R&B. However, his personal behavior, marked by arrogance, unpredictability, and self-sabotage, limited the full realization of his potential and strained many professional relationships. 1. Ginuwine. Ginuwine is known for his smooth vocals and romantic hits, but insiders describe him as a diva behind the scenes. While his public image is charming and approachable, those who have worked with him report that he can be dismissive, entitled, and difficult. Ginuwine reportedly expects special treatment and has been uncooperative during recording sessions and promotional events. His diva behavior includes arriving late, refusing to participate fully in projects, and making unreasonable demands that disrupt workflows. This attitude has caused friction with producers, managers, and fellow artists, making collaboration challenging. Some have also noted his short temper and occasional disrespect towards staff and fans. Despite these backstage difficulties, Ginuwine's impact on R&B is significant, with a loyal fan base and memorable hits. However, his reputation for being difficult to work with remains a persistent issue, complicating professional relationships and sometimes overshadowing his musical talents. And there you have it, 10 R&B stars whose behavior offstage was a whole different story. They gave us unforgettable hits, but behind the scenes, some of them were anything but smooth. Talent doesn't always equal kindness, and these names proved it in the worst ways. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. If you love deep dives into the untold sides of music history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching.